overcome a lot of Samus's neutral tools, and especially with Sisqui. I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this meme, but bola.
Las bolas are definitely going to be here.
Okay, no, just
no. Singular. Yeah,
la
bola,
la bola. Something else, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he's going to be shooting more than one. I'm just saying.
For sure, yeah. But one at a time. One at a time.
All right, there's one.
Yeah,
all right, there we go. Oh, but I see another. All right, anyway, back to the match.
And I know Max was saying, I mean, Sora is going to be a great character just because of the amount of time Sora is in the air. And a big thing that Sisqui, I mean, if you've been watching the tournament so far, that up B out of shield, that is the last line of defense for Samus, or any player gets up close, right? So Sora going to have that Keyblade. You're going to be able to space on that shield. It's going to be a very safe distance here. But so far, Kameme starting off with the lead, but a great call out. And I mean, that's pretty much Sisqi's main strategy, right? The charge shot really threatens grounded opponents, and then he wants to call you out with these rising forward airs, with these rising up airs.
Also, one thing that we mentioned before also is how Sora can really play around many of the edge guarding tools that Samus might bring out to the table. Edge guarding and ledge trapping is going to be so complicated for Sisqui, who usually goes for a lot of these bombs. But Sora spends so much time off stage that eventually Sisqi's going to run out of those options. Granted, he is losing a lot of these initial exchanges, and Sisqi's already going to take the first step with that dagger. Nice little work at the very beginning.
That move hits like a cannon. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. I feel like 90% by the ledge, especially with a character as light as Sora, could be going out. So here we go. Let's see how Kameme can kind of shrink the margins here. 99%. Sora's got a lot of kill power, but only in choice situations. It's going to be those nairs into the smash attacks. Yeah, wow, nair forward smash, a rarely seen option.
Yeah, didn't end up going into the up smash. That might have been it. Oh man, not going to get the fastball and going to finish off the nair. The offstage interaction, not going to get the punish on the air dodge to the ledge trap here, but no, Sisqui able to fight his way back onto stage with that forward air.
Just because he was facing forwards, Kameme was not able to find a back here, would have definitely closed it out, and still he is harassing upstage so much. Even with all that time that he can spend upstage though, the forwarder's got to do it, but there you go, the up B, which you also mentioned, can space around the charge shot itself.
Yeah, I feel like Sora just has a lot of great tools in this matchup, but does Kameme have the experience head-to-head, right? Of course, he's got Yara in Japan, but Japan's a huge country. Do they play often?
Right.
I would love to know that if someone could check and tweet at us if they've ever met in bracket before, how many times, etc. Sisqui, obviously a different animal, though.
Yeah, and it's kind of been the face-off for the best Samus, right? Between Yara, between Sisqui, I mean, both of them having incredible tournament runs, and the resume is just getting more stacked as these tournaments come to.
One of the things that I will tell you about Sisqui, though, there's just a different kind of flavor to the aggression that every country brings. And I think that Japan is a little bit more used to playing it patient. Sisqui, though, has proved to be a bit of a different beast in the sense that he keeps pushing forward, right? Like, maybe he is holding a little too much forward right now, given the fact that he's all the way up stage. Look at that. Kameme is going to hold him down. Sisqui spending too much time on the air, and he was kind of confident that he was not knocked out in the first stock. Like, it took very long for Kameme to find that first kill, but now Kameme is used to it. Sisqi's going to have to play around many new things now.
And here's where it is the scariest to fight Samus, when you're at the ledge. There we go, going underneath the stage to try to dodge the ledge trap. That said, Sisqi's seen it before. Yeah, he's going to control it, drop the bomb, fire the charge shot, La Bola, trying to make sure that Kameme can never touch solid ground. And here we go. Waits out that respawn invincibility, getting a little bit of damage, but Sora, he could be a little tough to combo because of his floatiness, his lightweight.
And I love the aggression off stage, like you pointed out, too. It's just going to be so strong. And there's a lot of characters that can't really stall out off stage that much against. Oh, all the way with the air dodge coming out and trying to use that platform carry with the neutral air. Gets the freeze. Are you going to get the mash out? No, the up smash not going to connect. Really swift from Sisqui.
Can't quite seal the keyhole over here, but the Thunder won't do it either. Sisqui, fantastic maneuvering around the Thunder. Kameme resorted to the up B last time. He also conditioned with the Thunder, but now it's a bit of a escape tool, which is also interesting for Kameme, right? He has a lot of escape tools, and so far he has been spacing pretty well around the charge shots whenever he's at a distance from Sisqui, so that does not work out quite as well. When Sisqui gets a kill with a charge shot, it's because he caught Kameme on the jump, but this is going to be the first game.
And you see, Kameme has had to modify his combo game a little bit because Samus is also a floaty character. It can be very weird to follow up on her, but we're going to see the Nair 1-2 into up B rather than up smash just to account for that extra altitude she gets when you hit her.
Right, and just that extra altitude can be just enough for that up smash not to connect, right? We usually see Kameme so solid when it comes to these nairs into the up smash, even the platform carry, but like you pointed out, that floatiness of Samus is just going to bring a whole nother level of combo game. So Kameme might have to go for more of some of these resets to go ahead and combo even further, and I like the comboing into the up B, right? Because just the nair into the up B or the up air is going to be your fastest option, but of course, if you can get these smash attacks, you want that smash attack.
And that adds a new level to this. If Sisqui gets a little too comfortable with that extra altitude that Samus gets to maybe escape one of Sora's combos, Kameme is simply going to readapt and go for a second up B, or not a second up B, rather a secure up B. Or, you know, seal the keyhole, go for the up smash. There's a lot that he can do when Sisqi's in the air, and he's definitely controlling the ground for as floaty as Sora is.
Yeah, it's so funny watching these two characters fight each other because they have to completely shift the game plan, at least when it comes to the on-hit game. So far, though, in this neutral, it's been a little bit of an even exchange. Kameme on the back end, but no, he's going to slide right in there with dash attack. Let's see, how can he punish these landing mix-ups from the bomb? Sisqui going to break free and get something started, but it's just been trades back and forth.
Yes. Ooh, the Thunder barely finding its mark here, going for the ledge jump again. Another forwarder to control that airspace, canceling, goes for the reset, but Sisqui swinging this time.
And also going for the aggressive grabs too. Sisqui, when he decides to play grappler, he usually finds a lot of success. Also, the up throw is in the table. Eventually, enough percent will be there for the kill to happen. But Kameme, in the meantime, recognizes the phase of the game we're in, and he's just gonna stall it out. Like he knows that he cannot get a charge shot here. Oh no! But he lands in front of it.
And just like that, Sisqui with the lead this time, and Sora does have a good amount of options from the ledge. It depends what spell is on deck, right? If the Thunder is on deck, you can ledge drop Thunder, kind of pressure your opponent away from you, but it just really comes down to the spell management.
Yeah, it's normally a pretty rough spot for every character, especially characters with slow double jumps like Sora, but hold on! Yeah, that keyhole getting locked up right now, as Toon said. Going to see the up smash finally connect, and Kameme, you know, he's so tapped into when he can and can't go for that.
And also, he's getting a pretty good read as to when he can attack Sisqui up front. It's not too easy for him to get into that area, especially with the forward air on deck. Like, a lot of this battle has happened at like 3 or 4 bodies in difference of the distance, and usually Sisqui wins it with his grab and such. But Kameme with the side B has found a new tool that earns him a lot of victories. It might not extend too much, but it gets him in, and then he can extend maybe.
That jump to side B out of shield, very reminiscent of characters like Roy, right? Where you won't be able to reach with an aerial, but you want to jump, get that fast access to your special. It's much quicker than letting your shield go.
Yeah, and it seems like even though Kameme is going for the side switches against Samus, which we've seen in other matchups throughout this tournament, right? Since Sora just does it so slow, it feels like Sisqui is able to get to the other side of the stage and just set up the bomb anyway. Oh, and there's a shield break!
Oh, the
bomb setups?
Woo!
Oh, not going for the dare? Come on, man.
Could have been a spike. I was hoping for the spike too.
Yeah.
Got the same read, but at such a low percent, I mean, Sora can come back from anywhere. I think he would have flipped, but still, earns a lot of damage after this, and he has yet to give up stage control. The lack of platforms, I think, is part of what's doing this. Like we said, a lot of elevation that Sisqui was at gave Kameme so much leeway into the up Bs and the up smashes, and now Kameme is having so much issue fighting those.
And you could see Kameme going for those resets, like we were talking about just before, going for fair 1-2, knowing that Sisqui has time to air dodge out, but it doesn't matter. He just couldn't keep up the aggression. Once Sisqui had a lead, it seemed like it was slipping out of Kameme's hands very quickly.
Could not get off the ledge. I mean, probably one of, if not the strongest character on the ledge. And in terms of just the setups are just very simple and very effective here for Samus Sisqui. Also adding multiple layers to the bomb mix-ups. We see a lot of up tilts. That jab 1 into the up tilt, another great parry mix-up. And, you know, jab 2, not the most reliable for Samus. So I like how Sisqui, instead of, you know, just not using jab, still finding really creative ways to use jab 1.
Not the only play that we will see from him. I'm sure even if we go to a more platform-ridden layouts, I'm sure that he's going to find these traps once more. The shield break setup that he went for, I think, is the end game of the adaptation that he was going through.
Yeah.
From game 1 and game 2 as well, because Kameme did not have that many mix-ups. Like you said, it all depends on the spell on deck. Thunder will give him a little bit more leeway, but Sisqui can still just hold that. He knows to read the menu, and there isn't much for Kameme to do but fight it within the stage and with the platforms. If we go back to platforms, this is bound to be much better for the Japanese player.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked that Kameme didn't take FD off the table, right? The fact that it wasn't banned is a little bit surprising, but here we go. It's going to be Town and City for this Game 3, the tiebreaker match. Of course, you want to win this, get the counter pick advantage for the rest of the set, but so much momentum is on the line as well. You don't want to have to win 2 straight.
Yeah, and thing I really want to see from Kameme is utilizing that very strong Sora up air, one of the better up airs in the game. And, you know, Sisqui gets out of so many juggle situations just like that. Using that Morph Bomb, you shift your hurt box, just go really small hurt box, and then you're able to drift left or right. But that Sora up air is just so large horizontally, so maybe Kameme can set up some traps, but again, just really hard to fight the Morph Bomb. Yeah,
the reason why Sisqui hasn't been able to escape so much is because Kameme had already committed to another option, can't quite catch him on the Morph Ball form. But now Sisqui can't seem to find the ground as much. I mean, Kameme is doing a pretty good job, as he was in the first game, controlling the ground. But this distribution is where things might change. Once again, the platform's a little bit more on the side, and Sisqui, this is where he might get aggressive and go for a lot more grabs too.
Yeah, I think he has to at this point. Down about 80% and counting. Now up to 90. Okay, gonna shake Kameme off him with that forward air as he returns to the stage, but it might be a little too late. There it is. First stock going very comfortably to the Japanese representative here.
If you're wondering why Kameme is actually burning the Thunder, you know, the Fire and the Blizzard just a lot stronger in neutral, and then Thunder just really nice for an edge guard. Now that Sisqui is coming in on a lower percent, so going to opt for those spells here, but Sisqui coming back with vengeance, already racking up now 77 damage here. Town and City, very large stage, going to commit to the left side here.
Yeah, on the subject of the spells, I've noticed he always cycles to Blizzard in between stocks, and that's probably because if you get good timing off of the freeze break, you can go into a full combo and start things off with a bang.
Especially on center stage, which is where Kameme would rather be. Another proper distribution, though this one is going to give Sisqui the altitude to find him with the up B. And the up B is also a bit of a last resort. It does help him take Kameme out of it, but even then, it only resets. This time, Sisqui found the stock, sure, but when you see him go for those up Bs, it's usually just a get-off-me tool. It's an attempt to reset, and Kameme is so far away that they both have the tools to really fight for center stage again. And look at that, the charge shots are not finding their mark anymore. Sisqui, La Bola, has not been as effective now, and that's a second stock, almost.
Yeah, just a little bit off. Some more damage, or maybe a different stage that could have killed off the top. Town known for its high ceiling and the short sides. We'll see if that comes into play at all. Oh, and the reset, yes, but once again, Sisqui hanging on when it comes to that vertical knockback.
Samus so damn heavy, but this is going to get punished for sure. Reaching with the grab there, and that's the thing about Samus. Samus in neutral, going to have to take some general risk outside of charge shots with these jump callouts, right? With these rising arrows, generally pretty risky. With these tether grabs, generally pretty risky. And Kameme knowing and forcing that and getting these great punishes on them.
And Nair 1 is doing so much for Kameme. Now Sisqui is kind of backing down on his own because he knows that he can just fall into this, and look at how much percent he's seeing from each exchange. And this might even result on a stop because this is an up B for sure. Oh no, he escapes from it, but it was an up B. Kameme was so close to clutching this one out.
Feels like he's able to keep it going from so many random positions, right? Pushing you off stage with the edge guard, then putting you on ice, literally, and keeping it going back onto the stage. My God, the Nair to forward smash, that's gonna do it. A dominant two-stock from Kameme in that game 3.
Just did not get touched, and even though Kameme didn't get the stock every single edge guard, look at the damage. It adds up over and over again, and once Samus gets to that 130, 140 threshold, the Nair up B seems like to be the most consistent combo, so getting to that sweet spot percent is going to be very big for Kameme here.
The reason why this is going to get into the mental aspect too for Sisqui is that this is his usual flow chart to recover. Like, go for a few Morph Ball bombs and then you will get your distance back. But now you have to fear the Blizzaga, not even the Thunder. That was the first exchange, right? But now Kameme is going for the Blizzagas off stage, gets you into the cold, and the rest is history. You either take lose or stock, or like you said, it's a lot of percent. Either way, when you go back to the stage, you're still fighting for your life. And we're going back to FD once again, not taken out of the equation. But Sisqui did find success here before. How will Kameme adapt? No platforms, no worries, because you got Nair 1 to do things for you.
All right, so Sisqui switching here to Samus. There's a lot of small differences for Samus, but the main one is Samus's double jump actually has the hurt box shift that is very, very strong in disadvantage, but Dark Samus has a lower charge shot, so can be a little bit more effective for that ledge trapping.
You know, on the subject of the lower charge shot, I think that actually hurt Sisqui in the last game. There was one charge shot that Kameme barely jumped over. It felt like his kicks were actually touching it, and I was like, man, if he were Samus, that would have connected. So maybe just because this is such an aerially based character, he feels more comfortable with regular Samus here. And of course, like you said, Charles, that hurt box shifting certainly doesn't hurt either.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, we're going all the way, but the double jump, Sisqui getting out barely in time. But the back air is going to seal the deal, and Kameme with a very solid lead, trying to close this set out 3-1 versus Sisqui.
One more interesting thing about Kameme is that he has not really gone for reflectors on the charge shots. He would rather just fight them out. He ate a few with the backer too. So he has the tools with just the Keyblade Tipper and Sisqui. You know, it is usually his combo starter. This is a tool for Samus that works for multiple things, but it's working for none right now. Ooh. Dear Lord, how many Nairs were those? Kameme extending this to no end.
Yeah, and you see again, Samus's floatiness kind of working against Kameme there, not able to keep the combo up, but pushing the stage advantage to the fullest. Sisqui now in a position where he's got to get off the ledge. Blizzaga, a great tool, but not even going to fire it. Yeah, just going for the grab, keep it simple, build that damage up little by little. You don't need to do anything crazy from this position.
Falling upper is going to be such a great pressure tool here. There's the freeze. And Max, I think you're right. I think that's the MVP spell for Kameme. Like, we see so many scenarios in neutral, especially off stage as well, right? Blizzaga just covering so much area, especially if you're falling down. And what a sweet spot recovery, but it doesn't matter. The charge shot from Sisqui going to at least keep the stocks count even, but the percents are a little different here.
Yeah, just a backer should do it at this point, but Kameme is going to start this stock in a pretty meager position. Granted, he does escape. The side B has been doing so much, and yet Sisqui never found in a position where he can just shield it. Kameme controls the air, controls the ground, and yes, he is hitting a lot of percent, though. I mean, we gotta give props to Sisqui. He is finding a few victories. Charge shot not going to come out. Fantastic baiting.
Wow, this stock really overstaying its welcome for Sisqui. After that parry on the get-up attack from Kameme, I thought it was over, but he went for a nair that just didn't even connect. Oh, here we go. Is it finally going to end? There it is. Yes, 2 nairs into the up air this time. That basically combos into anything that starts with up for Sora.
The rules of engagement here for Sora, but that charge shot is going to connect, and Sisqui, like Max was pointing out, was able to rack up a ton of damage. I mean, Kameme came in with 0 to Sisqi's 120-something, so that was incredible stuff from Sisqui, evening it out damage-wise.
And it was like 3 interactions in which Kameme ended up getting around 90, and then he spent so much time off stage too. Like, you could feel the danger in Sisqi's charge shots being able to take that stock. Granted, Kameme still has the lead, but now the nairs are not quite as effective. One thing that Sisqui has developed is a new plan to trade against those and maybe find a way to reverse the interaction. Granted, not all of those do connect, and now the charge shot and the up B are kind of out of the table. Kameme is back in the lead, back in the map control, and he might just finish it here. Oh, dude!
Loving these resets from Kameme. Again, recognizing that Samus is hard to get the true follow-ups on, but now you're stuck at the ledge against probably the best ledge trapper in the game, at least the one that can kind of run the same process over and over again.
Best tournament ledge trapper, let's just
move on. Yes, exactly.
Oh, or Game & Watch. There's a connection. Yeah, true. There's an honorable mention.
Not gonna be quite it though. He just keeps the ice block. No up B yet. No up B yet. Dude, the percents are so high. Sisqui knows his tournament life is on the line, and Kameme might just find him, but it's back on stage control for Sisqui. This side B was so risky, and yet nobody touches each other. Dude, last stock, last hit.
Thunder's online here. Are you going to shark with it? Okay, going to the side switch. No, faking out. Sisqui still getting the bomb set up, forcing the jump, and the charge shot connects. Great reaction from Sisqui. Did not fall for the fake out on the side switch there.
Man, and Kameme was busting out all the tricks too. You saw that one Sonic. Sisqui was so ready for it, blocked the first 2 hits, but then the third never came out. That gave him a second chance, but even still, Sisqui able to keep his head on straight throughout all of that, thanking Kameme for that gift of not finishing him off that parry. I think that was the moment where that match swung into Sisqi's favor.
Yeah, the ray of hope came through, and Sisqui was, I will deliver from this ray of hope. And we got just that. I believe we got the game 4 coming, no, game 5 coming up here, and we'll see what the counter pick here is. Kameme was up 2-1, so we're going to see Kameme's counter pick coming into play. Another thing to look out for, which I really enjoy both these players doing, since both of them are on the floaty characters, using your specials to cancel your vertical momentum up from jump is so important. We've seen actually Kameme do a jump and then just on reaction with punish with the side B just to make sure he stops rising so we can get that punish. Sisqi's doing the same thing with the morph bomb.
Another really subtle thing that Kameme did to cancel his double jump in that last game, he went for an air dodge, basically wave landing into the ground, so you don't have to deal with all that time that Sora spends in the air with the super slow double jump.
And these new mix-ups are also going to ignite some new questions on Sisqui. He was already doing so good fighting against the neutral air 1s and 2s, but now how will you deal with these, the cancels, the possible downer, which I don't think we've never seen it, but it would still be on the table, I think, for a surprise option. And now the side Bs are not even gonna be completed. Like, Kameme recognizes, hey, I got stage control, I got center, I don't need to keep committing on the second and third hits. But Sisqui, in the meantime, he's just still looking for the hits, and unfortunately, off stage is where everything might go to die. Granted, they both live.
Kameme was really looking for that that back air whiff punish, even utilizing the spell so many different ways that both these players are canceling that vertical momentum. It's such a big deal when you're dealing with fast ballers, but even more so when you're dealing against the float. You want to get down to the ground. Sisqui following up with the back air.
So prepared right there for just one Sonic. He's like, you know what, man? I'm not even going to sit and shield. I'm not going to respect this. I'm just going to challenge you head to head. My character has some massive hitboxes.
This time, I don't think the platform is any more of a hindrance. Sisqui was struggling before, almost a hazard in itself, but now you only have to worry about this one. And if you own the lower side of Smashville, you own the entire stage pretty much. Kameme can only hope to challenge you with a solid spaced back here, or maybe the side B for the mix-up. And still, Sisqui just chilling underneath, just waiting for Kameme, shrugging a little bit, and look at the damage rank up.
Yeah, he's got La Casita right there
Yeah.
with this platform, but oh, it's going to betray him right there. No, still alive somehow. Excellent DI from Sisqui, and of course the weight of Samus not going to work against him either.
Yeah, Kameme had to take a little bit more damage for that to get the KO. No rage, and that's one of the big disadvantages you have when losing that stock lead. You're spawning in with no amount of rage, and now Sisqui able to survive and now going to be able to rack up some damage. No, Kameme finds the confirm, gets the up air, now we're 2 stocks apiece.
And the nairs are less and less common as time goes on. Sisqui has at least found the SDI to get out of those, it seems. And of course, as percent racks up, it's going to be even more complicated for Kameme, but things do not look too good. Even with Blizzaga in hand, Kameme needs to land first and foremost, and Sisqui just chilling in the, what was it called in Barbie? Like Mojo Dojo Casa House?
I haven't seen it, man. I haven't been home since Gommel, bro. Give me a break.
All right.
I'm trying to run that Barbenheimer ASAP, though, the double feature.
All right, already taking 92%, getting a little bit of side B damage. Center stage control. Samus can be such a menace in the center stage. Kameme always wants to make sure you're commanding that area. Trying to come in with the side B. Does get a connection here. Oh, and that nair hitting behind. Now racking up a good amount of damage here.
The stall seems to be working out in Sisqi's favor this time around, too. The morph balls are finally coming into play as Kameme is not even more committing to going up, even with this up B. Like, he knows he can just shark it out. But Sisqui does have a few mix-up options if he has used the up B. Granted, this forward air is going to take it, and it's the last stock for Kameme. His tournament life on the line.
To think he was at game point, at tournament stock for Sisqui just 1 game ago, and suddenly this reversal of fortunes working in the Spanish player's favor. You need to end the stock very quickly, Kameme. There's so much danger when Samus has a stock lead.
They're not going to hit the mark here. Blizzaga on deck. The ledge trap goes for the down smash. That hurt box shift upward can really hurt your opponent trying to swing upward. Great stuff from Sisqui going right to the ledge here and just wants to get as much damage as possible. Weird trade off the up B, though.
And it's not going to really work out for either of them. And again, this platform being a landing mix-up for Sisqui allows him to go for the up Bs a little bit more freely than he would elsewhere.
Also, the fact that if Kameme gets too comfortable there, just press Z, just press the Z button. That grab is going to give you so much momentum too. And Kameme just charging here, waiting for that shield to go down. Blizzaga won't do much, and I believe that he's going to cycle back real soon. That Faraga will not give him much either. And the up B out of shield. Kameme getting a little too desperate, playing within Sisqi's area, that he is forgetting about that burst option. And granted, a few have whiffed, but the percentage is not ranking up. Sisqui still has his second stock.
Oh my god, and a forward air. The charge shot. 1 more ledge trap, and we could be looking at Sisqui moving on into the top 6.
Are you alive? Kameme still fighting for his life here. 2 stocks still on Sisqui. You got quite a bit of work here, and the shield poke on the platform there. That is guaranteed with the up B.
Yeah, all those multi-hits. You got to have some perfect shield angles to get out of that. Still hanging on, though. Kingdom Hearts is light, but not that light.
About to end it, probably a dash attack will do it, and that is a trade that will take Sisqui down to his last stock, but guess what? He won anyway. He is now in the top 6. Spain lives on. La Madre Patria, España continúa en el brackets.
Such a great set. What a way to open up this top 8, right, boys? A game 5. What more could you ask for?
Yeah. Smash Factor 10, top 8, not to the point. First or the last set, you guys better strap in because this is going to be one hell of a top 8.
It's also going to be one for the honor, guys, because I will tell you one little bit of history. Only once has there been, there have been 2 times, 2 champions who were not Mexican in the history of Smash Factor X.
Wow.
So people, I mean, here we do have the pride in that, we do have the majority, but you know, those 2 losses actually came consecutively. It wasn't until last year that Leo reclaimed the throne that we had a Mexican champion again. And now we're trying to get the double, we're trying to get the repeat. But you know, it's in the air. We do have some pretty solid contenders still in the bracket. I am not sure if everybody is quite ready for what's coming up, but you know what? If it started like this, I'm sure that every set following this one is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think possibly the darkest horse in this top 8 is about to take the stage. I'm speaking, of course, about Kameme, the Yoshi player, defeating Meister to get into the top 8. He almost beat Shuton as well, so an amazing run for this guy.